Here's a more detailed and expanded timeline for Wave Race 64, including the development process, key milestones, and release dates. Expanded development and release timeline for Wave Race 64 pre-development phase. 1994 Early conceptualization. Nintendo started conceptualizing Wave Race 64 as part of their strategy to showcase the advanced capabilities of the Nintendo 64, N64, hardware. The focus was on creating a water-based racing game that could push the boundaries of 3D graphics and physics, taking full advantage of the N64's powerful graphics processor. Development begins. 1995 Team formation. Development officially began in 1995 under the guidance of Shinya Takahashi and other key members of Nintendo Entertainment Analysis Development. Water physics development. One of the main challenges during development was creating realistic water physics. The team had to design a system that could simulate water behavior, including waves and splashes, which would respond realistically to the player's movement. This required innovative programming techniques to make the water physics look believable within the constraints of the N64's hardware. Graphics and environmental design. The game aimed for a visually stunning experience, using the N64's capabilities to display lush environments, realistic water effects, and smooth character animations. Artists worked on designing the water surfaces, shorelines, and various aquatic environments. Nintendo 64 hardware development and launch. 1996. Development of the Nintendo 64 console. While Wave Race 64 was in development, Nintendo was finalizing the creation of the N64 console itself. The system was intended to revolutionize gaming with its 64-bit processing power and the introduction of 3D environments, making it the perfect platform for a water-based racing game. Japan. The Nintendo 64 was released on September 27, 1996. North America. The N64 launched on November 4, 1996. Europe. PAL. The console's European release took place on April 29, 1997. Game completion and testing. Late 1996 finalizing the game. By late 1996, Wave Race 64 was in its final stages of development. The team tested various levels, refining the gameplay mechanics and optimizing the water physics engine. Beta testing and debugging. The game underwent extensive testing to ensure that the water effects were working as expected and that the gameplay was smooth. It also underwent rigorous debugging, especially due to the complexity of simulating dynamic water environments. Game release. 1996 to 1997. Japan. December 18, 1996. Wave Race 64 was released just a few months after the Nintendo 64 console launch in Japan. It quickly became one of the flagship titles to show off the N64's capabilities, particularly in terms of graphics and fluid mechanics. North America. February 14, 1997. The game was released in North America in early 1997, just a few months after the console launch. The North American release helped solidify Wave Race 64 as a key title in the N64 library, praised for its innovative water physics and dynamic gameplay. Europe. July 11, 1997. The game launched in Europe later in 1997. By this time, Wave Race 64 had already received positive reception in Japan and North America, and the PAL release helped bring the game to a wider audience. Post-release support and recognition. 1997 to 1998 critical acclaim. Upon release, Wave Race 64 was widely praised for its groundbreaking water physics, graphics, and fluid gameplay. It was hailed as one of the most impressive launch titles for the N64, showcasing the potential of the console's hardware. Awards and recognition. The game won several awards for its graphics and design, and it was frequently listed among the best racing games of the era. Many players and critics appreciated how it blended arcade-style racing with a unique aquatic environment. Legacy. Late 1990s to early 2000s influence on future titles. Wave Race 64 had a lasting impact on future games in the racing genre, influencing other water-based games such as Wave Race, Blue Storm, 2001, and other titles that sought to replicate its water physics system. Continued popularity. The game remained a beloved title in the N64 library and was frequently cited as one of the top reasons to own the console. Summary of key dates: 1994, conceptualization and early development begins. 1995, full development starts. Water physics and gameplay mechanics are created. September 27, 1996, Nintendo 64 launches in Japan. December 18, 1996, Wave Race 64 is released in Japan. November 4, 1996, Nintendo 64 launches in North America. February 14, 1997, Wave Race 64 is released in North America. April 29, 1997, Nintendo 64 launches in Europe. July 11, 1997, Wave Race 64 is released in Europe, PAL. Late 1990s, early 2000s, game garners critical acclaim and is remembered as one of the standout titles for the Nintendo 64. This expanded timeline captures the full breadth of Wave Race 64's development, release, and lasting impact on gaming. For many,